All right. Hello. How you doing? I'm so glad we've met here again. We're going to add testing to our Ruby on Rails application. And testing is how we make sure that our app behaves the way we want it to behave in production and everywhere. And testing is very much important because it helps us and other developers who are working in the code so that nobody writes some code which breaks something that we want to keep working. So testing is very much important. When working on Ruby on Rails applications, RSpec is a great option to write tests for your Ruby on Rails application. Although there are other options, but RSpec is a great choice and many companies are using it. So let's learn how to run testing for this application. All we do is that we need to do some installation, and they are saying that we should add RSpec to our development and then test file. So let's go to gem file and we go to the development test and then we add RSpec here. And then we can do bundle install to install the dependency. And then from there, the next thing we do is that they are saying that we should, after running bundle install, then we should run Rails G RSpec install. So we should run this command to install RSpec in our application. So, all right. So let's run this. We are just following the documentation, nothing more, nothing less. And from there, we can generate the rules application, like the testing files, the files that are going to be used to test application. We can write them by hand, but RSpec is saying that no, we can use a generator. Just as we use a generator to generate migration, controllers, and generate all the files for us. The same way we can use a generator, and this is the generator. We can use the generator and it will generate the boiler template we need to write out test for either a model, controller, whatever. And then if we run this command, let's see, if we run this command, it will tell us all the things that we can write tests against. So we can write tests against channel, controller feature, whatever. But this time we are going to write a model test. And they show us an example over here. How do we write a model test? They are saying that we should do this. Just copy this line and then put it here. Put it here. And it will generate a model for the model name that we define. So for the purpose of the first one, let's generate a test for language because it's a simple model. It only has a name and some relationships. So it will be easier to first test this one. Then later we can run some tests for some advanced concepts. So now this is our model. If you look at how the structure is, RSpec describe language. It's a type model. Then we keep going. If the type is controller, then we can do controller over here. Controller over here. If it is a route, then we can do route. But this time it is model. So we have no problems. Let's see how we can write tests for this model. Now, what do we mean when we say we are writing tests? So let's go to our schema and then we go to the language thing here. So you see that a language has a name. And what if we want to make sure that nobody can add a language without name? We want to make sure that we can't just go ahead and just add an empty language. Or if you go to the language, the model, the language model, see, we have some validations over here. We want to verify that the minimum length of a language name is 3. Can we write some test against this so that no developer or nobody can just change this, or a language has many courses. Can we write some tests against this so that nobody can change this, right? Accidentally. That's the point. Accidentally. If they want to change it, then they can change it intentionally, but not accidentally. So let's go back to RSpec and see what they are saying we should do. And they are saying that we should have some context, whatever. There's a whole lot we can do. But you know what? There's another package that makes testing in RSpec much easier. Another gem, sorry. It is called Shoulda Matchers. It makes testing RSpec, testing models so easy. We don't have to worry about writing everything. Things go easier for us. Let's try to do this. Let's just add the gem file here, and go to our gem file in here, and we can add it to a development and test one. So just as we did for the other one. And then whilst it's installing, what should we do? They are saying that the configuration for Rails app, if you are working on Ruby on Rails app, we should go and update this file, spec Rails helper. So let's try find this app. Now, if you've been following this course, I'll be using Control P on Windows and Command P to search files. So when you tap Control P, you can just search this the file name. The file name is spec. I think let me show you where this file is. It's spec, then Rails helper. This is the Rails helper, and they are saying that we should update this file. But I will just use the command Control P, just add the file name, hit enter, and then you can go ahead and start working in that file. They are saying that we should add this line. So I'm just going to copy this line and paste it here. As we said, we should paste it at the bottom of the line. All right. What else? They are saying that then we go down, then we should do, if you are working on Ruby on Rails app, we go to the test file again. So the other one was the spec file. Now let's go to the test file, and at the bottom of the page, they said we should add something else. They said we are saying we should add this one. Perfect. We got everything up and running. Yay! We are good to go. The question is, how does Shoulda? The question is, how does the Shoulda matcher work with RSpec? Do you see that in the Shoulda matcher documentation, they are saying that we need RSpec, right? We can either go with RSpec or mini test, right? The mini test is the one which comes by default with Ruby on Rails, but we are using Shoulda matcher, and then we can just use should, and then the expect to whatever. Let's look at this. Let's look at an example. Let's go down. I think they have some. Yay! Look, this is like active record matches. This is where we'll be spending most of our time. So we can come here and look at what we want to do and see what helper can help us do that. For example, in the language spec we want to run, let's see this one. The first thing we like to know is that, look, we would like to validate that this name exists and the length is a minimum of 3. Let's check if Shoulda matcher has something like this. Look, validate length of, and it says it tests the usage of validation, the length. It tests the length of a field. And look, let's look at what they are doing here. They said, look, it should validate. Look at this example. They are having this model. I think they've commented it out, but then we can still use it. So class user, and then it has an attribute called bio. And then we are validating the length of bio, and the minimum is 15, right? Just as we are doing. For us, the minimum is 3. And we can go ahead and just say that it should validate the length of whatever. And then, but first of all, we need to describe user, whatever. Let's see if this works. Yay. For us, we don't have bio, but we have name. And the length is at least 30. Great. What happens is that if we do not have this validation inside our model class, because that's where we write all the validations, then this RSpec will throw an error. So in case, let's run this guy and see. So we can do just RSpec. We would not like to run RSpec for the whole file. We just want to go to the spec, models, and then language model. If you were confused about what I did, it's just the spec file. You go to the model. We only have one called language spec. So that's what we are testing. So let's just run this and see if this test passes. Yay, it passes, right? It passes. It means that we are validating this guy. But let's assume we comment this out. Now, we have not written any validation. Let's say another user just deleted this one. And let's run the test file and see. Yay, it threw an error. And it is saying that, hey, the minimum length of a language should be 3. Validate the length of name at least 3. But this could not be proved. Can you imagine? Because someone has commented this guy out. Let's bring it here, right? Run our test case again. So whenever we are working in a team, we can just keep running the test file, test suite to make sure that we don't break anything. I think this is passing. So we've written our first test. This is great. All right. The other thing is that this is the length, but what if name does not is not there? What if someone decide not to even add a name? How can we make sure that name is there, right? Users must add a name. So I think it's called presence of, and let's set for presence. Let me go back to look. We have issue validate the presence of name. So like if we want some field to be there, we can just copy this guy. And then if we want the uniqueness of the name, let's say we want the name to be unique. We don't want the name to be, you see, language. Okay, why not run this? Because we want name to be there, but we also want the name to be unique, right? So we do this. And this one is going to fail because name is not, we've not set anything that shows that name should be unique. So it is just going to throw an error. Yay! One failed. Which one failed? Although there were 3 tests, which one failed? They say it should validate the uniqueness of name. Oh, sorry. And then let me take this guy out. The uniqueness of name. You don't want to scope it. You just want to make sure that the name is unique. Yeah, they are saying that expect language to validate that the name is case sensitively unique, but this could not be proved. So it means that we now have to go inside into our model, then make sure that name is unique, right? So let's just, this is not a magic. We can just go ahead and say that we want the name to be unique, right? So validate name presence, like let's go here and then we can add this. Look, validate name, presence, through length, 3. Then I think we can add uniqueness. Uniqueness. That's how uniqueness. Great. And then save to true. And this is all we need to run. So I think to make sure that the name is unique. And then uniqueness is set to true. I think they are saying that there should be some space here. Yeah, I think that's what they want. So we are validating that name should be there. It should be unique and it should have a length, minimum length of 3. Let's now make sure that this test suite is working. Great. You can see that when we added that, it just works a lot. So it means that while we are writing our test files, we could be updating our model and make sure that things work as expected. Great. Now we have a relationship, has many. Can we also verify that this thing is also true? Yeah, we can do that. Let's go to the Shoulda Matcher, and then I think when we go down, yay, we have many, and it is used to test has many associations. Let's check how they do that. So look, if we have many pictures, we should just write a test that it should have many pictures like this. So let's go ahead and then add it here. It should have many what? They have many courses. A language have many courses. Now, if you are lost, just clone the application, look at what we did, and then you'll be good to go. Perfect. So you see that we've been able to write tests for this model in only some few lines. If we were not using the Shoulda Matcher, then we have to create a sample language, then check the fields, which is a lot of work. But the Shoulda Matcher makes testing Ruby on Rails application with RSpec and minimal test so easy, right? Okay. I think we are done with the language. So let's try to see another model. Like, let's create another test for something else. Can we create it for course? Yeah, because we like to do the validations and then we can do the rest. I think, hold on. Let's delete, like, let me go back. And my laziness is saying that I should go back and do, we'll generate RSpec model. We want to generate the model for course. I think you understand how this thing works. So if we want to generate, we want to check the length of something. Look, we want to validate the presence of something, the uniqueness, has many, whatever. We can do this and we'll be good to go. So this Shoulda Matcher has the whole like instructions. If you are looking for matches, if you are looking for controllers, if we want to test the route, just come over here and you'll be good to go. And I just show you how to get up and running with it. So let's see. We have the course. Let me add those test files for you so that it doesn't waste our time. Okay. So this is the schema file. This is the schema file. And this is a course. And a course has a name, description, all these. But the test I'm writing is just trying to say that whenever we are adding a course, we want there to be description. We don't want description to be missing. We want name to be also there, and the name should have a length of at least 3. Then we are saying that belongs to. Now, when we come to course, initially we're able to test the has many when testing the language, but then sometimes too, we would like to test the belongs to. And let me show you what the Shoulda Matchers says about that. Look, we have has all the relationships, has many attached as one. Then let's go to belongs to. Yay, look at this. So we used to take the belongs to association. And then this is it. So a class belongs to an organization. So this is how we write the test. It should belong to then the model name. So this is what we have belongs to this, that. And then there's a last one, say, has many through association. And this one too is here. There has many through. It should have many acquaintances, through friends. And for our case, we were just testing that each course has many lectures through sections. And this is what we did. So let's try running RSpec course, spec, and then model progress. Yeah, let's see what happens. I think it's going to break because they don't have a validation for the description and name, and then this guy, but it's going to write that. Yay, we have 3 failing tests. So let's look at them. Let's start with the number 1. They are saying that you validate the presence of description. The description is not there. So what do? We have to add description to the model. And then how do we do it? So let's just do this. And then we go to course model. Yes. And then over here, I think we can minimize this and then just say that we want to validate the length of we want to validate what do we want to validate? So we like to validate the first one is going to be name, description. So let's say name, and then want presence to be true. Then we can give it a length. So length, and then minimum is set to 3. Great, we like it. And maximum, I don't know. For name, let's make it 255. At least a string. So while we having the presence is set to true, presence is set to true. So true should not be true. It's not a symbol. It is right. Great. Let's go to description, and we can do something similar for description and error. Great. We also want the minimum to this, but for the maximum, we don't want to set it because it may be so long. And then once we are done with this, I think they were failing because we couldn't validate the presence of name and description and then the length of name, but at least for now, if we run this, all our tests should pass. Great, we have 7 passing tests. So this is how we write tests for our models using the Shoulda gem. If you need any help, just come to the Shoulda Matchers, look at what you want to do. So this cannot be all the tests in your application, right? You can say that these ones that we've written are the only tests you're going to write. There's a whole lot, but just look at the matches for the models and then look at what you want to test. And then just go to the documentation. They will just show you how it is used. And you can use something similar. Now, I've written some tests for the other models, and then you can check the GitHub code for the other test and see how it works. But for now, I think this is the basics, and you should be good to go from here. Right? All right. Thank you.